evening, YouTube. This is MTP Flyers, and just wanted to go over an item that I bought when I was up in New York. I want to give a shout out to Demoda, who met us up there at the DataVision store and was kind enough to hook us up and give us a little bit of a discount on these things. So, let me jump right into this. So I thought this would be perfect for my wife's Blackberry that she owns, and we could hook everything up, because right now we kind of have our Dexum up there, upstairs, and she has her Blackberry just kind of sitting to the side. So depending on what you're using it for, you can make the base larger and smaller. So my Dexum is probably about this deep right now and about the same width as far as what you're looking for. So I don't know exactly how this all works and how the plugs are supposed to go in. So what we'll do is definitely take a quick peek at this. And I actually want to hook it up upstairs. So on the bottom here, you've got hookups, I guess, standard charge, and they've got quick charge, I guess, for the different types of ports that you have, which is, I guess this is A and B. So we'll take a peek at this. I want to take it upstairs and basically show you guys how this works. But what comes in here, which is very nice, they got your directions there and different things to go over. Read this first, the instructions and everything. They do give you some ports to hook up. They got a particular cable there for third party. They've got micro USB, which would be useful for the Blackberry device, and another micro USB, as well as an attachment too. So I guess you can go to the flat version from the micro USB, so it'll let you, I think that's a micro USB, I might be saying that wrong, to the flatter. I know this works for a lot of the HTC phones out there and the Samsung phones, so that's actually pretty neat. And a couple different docks for your iDevices, Apple devices, so you can throw those in there, give them a little bit more stability. Now, of course, you know, a lot of the items that you buy, a lot of cases that you buy from SwitchEasy, depending on the device that you have, they have that. So it's nice to know that this will fit in there depending on the device that you want to charge. So I plan on using this for, you know, our iPhones, the iPad to go back here, and my wife's Blackberry to go here. So as you all know, this won't charge without a plug. So here this is. And I tell you what, let's jump upstairs, show you how this works. Alright, so this is what my setup looks like upstairs. We have the Dexum dock, which will allow us to do 2 Apple devices. And of course, the wife's Blackberry, which is just kind of hanging off on the side. So let's swap everything out and give you guys an idea exactly what we are working with. Okay, so we have the dock all set up. I've got it plugged in. One thing I must say is the cord for this is a little bit short. It's probably only about 3 feet. So where you're plugging in, it's got to be pretty close to a receptacle. The next thing I noticed, which was pretty cool, on the front of the dock here, there is a sync switch. So if you are actually able to be close to a computer, you can plug your devices in, your Apple devices that is, and sync right up to the PC, Mac, whatever it is. And I guess if you plug something like this in for docking, you'd be able to do the same thing. I don't know. We'll have to test that out. But there's a blue light indicating that your device is on. So at this point, if I have both iPhones out, we can charge that up. You'll see that buzzing. The iPod Nano is going on. So there are a couple ports underneath here that I showed you guys in the unboxing. So let's get those set up, and we'll try out the Blackberry as well as my iPad, which I've never been able to charge up here before. Okay, so depending on how you want to do this, there are a couple of those plugs that I showed you earlier that come with the device. There's a shorter version, and this is actually a micro USB. I apologize for misquoting that. The flatter version is a micro USB. So both very similar devices that are being used, not very similar. The majority of devices being used today on most phones, smartphones, devices is the micro USB, and then of course there's the mini USB. Or I'm sorry, this is the mini USB, and then there's the micro USB, which is more flat. But on the bottom of here, we can do 2 things. First of all, if you have an Apple device, you're going to leave that charged on A, because that will, for some reason, allow the way that the iHome is set up for Apple devices to So, here is the Blackberry device, which is charging right now. So that's pretty cool. We know that that worked. And we're going to grab the iPad after we wrap this up. And you know, just for sake of time, I'm just going to plug this in and run it out here. They got a cool little system down here for the wires to keep everything nice and neat. Got the iPad right over here. Gonna plug it in. And we got dock back here. Now, I guess you could put this on its portrait mode, but you know, works just as well that way. You'd have to run the wire up through here. There is room to do that, but you are messing with the cord at that point. So, you saw that go on. The Blackberry went on and is charging, but like I said, you know, you're fiddling with the cable a little bit here. You see it's twisting. So, expanded the base out a little bit to make it fit on there. But like I said, we now have 4 devices charging, only 1 plug in the wall used, and we're all set. So this is a lot better for me and my wife to use. And, you know, if we're not charging the iPad, we can plug something else into it and just lay it to the side. As a matter of fact, I have right here her other Nano. The orange is mine. And you can plug that in there. And that is charging as we speak. And there you go. So if I don't have the iPad here, I can just plug this device in for her. And we've got that going. Now, I'm guessing if we don't have the Blackberry hooked up, we can even plug one of these into this other USB and use it that way. So there's a first look, guys. Trying it out. I'll let you know what I think, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya!